This might look like one of the most beautiful places on Earth. But in Yellowstone, one wrong step can kill you instantly. Every year, 4 million people make the journey here. They come for the geysers, the wolves, the silence. They come to feel small in the best possible way. They come because something in the human spirit is drawn instinctively to places that feel alive. Yellowstone is, without question, one of the most beautiful places on the surface of this earth. It is also trying to kill you. Colourful pools shimmer under the rising sun. Steam drifts silently through the morning air. Wild animals move across the landscape as they have for thousands of years. But what you're seeing is only the surface. Beneath this ground lies one of the most powerful volcanic systems on the planet. A system capable of reshaping entire regions and changing the course of life itself. And here, in the middle of all this beauty, people walk just meters away from boiling water, unstable ground, and invisible dangers. Every year, visitors ignore the warnings. Some get too close, some never make it back. This is Yellowstone, and it may be the most dangerous national park in America. At first glance, Yellowstone feels almost unreal. Vast forests stretch across rolling hills, rivers carve through valleys shaped over millennia, and everywhere there is movement beneath the surface. This is not a static landscape. It is alive. Yellowstone sits on top of a massive geothermal system, one of the largest on Earth. Deep below the surface, heat rises from molten rock, warming groundwater and forcing it back upward. The result is a landscape unlike anywhere else. Geysers erupt without warning, launching boiling water high into the air. Hot springs glow with colours so vivid they seem almost artificial. Blues, oranges and greens swirl together, created not by paint, but by life. Tiny microorganisms thrive in these extreme conditions, forming delicate ecosystems in water that would instantly burn human skin. But this beauty comes with a cost. The same heat that creates these colours also makes the ground unstable. In many areas, the surface is nothing more than a thin crust, barely strong enough to hold its own weight. Beneath it lies scalding water and mud. And in Yellowstone, the line between solid ground and deadly hazard is often invisible. In some parts of Yellowstone, the water below the surface reaches temperatures well above the boiling point. Not just hot, but lethal. Step off the designated path, and you may not realize the danger until it's too late. The ground can collapse without warning. A single misstep can break through the thin crust, plunging into water hot enough to cause severe burns in seconds. And yet, it happens. Every year, visitors leave the safety of boardwalks and marked trails. Some are curious, some are careless, others simply underestimate the danger. The landscape looks calm, it feels quiet. But Yellowstone does not behave like a typical environment. There are no second chances in many of these areas. Even standing too close can be dangerous. The heat radiating from the ground is constant. Steam vents release gases that are invisible, odorless, and sometimes harmful. And still, people lean in for a better view. They step just a little closer. For a photo. For a moment. For something they can take with them. But Yellowstone doesn't follow human rules. It doesn't give warnings beyond what's already there. And it doesn't forgive mistakes. Since records began in 1890, 22 people have died from Yellowstone's thermal features. That number sounds small. It isn't when you understand what those deaths look like. In June of 2016, a young man named Colin Scott left the designated boardwalk at Norris Geyser Basin. He stepped off the path. He fell into an acidic, hot spring. The water temperature at the surface was over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The acidity was near that of battery acid. By the time rescue personnel arrived, within hours, there was nothing left to recover. Rangers describe these pools not with horror, but with a quiet, matter-of-fact gravity. The park doesn't dramatise its dangers. It doesn't have to. Just inches below the surface crust here, water exceeds 400 degrees Fahrenheit. In some places, the ground itself is only a few centimetres thick. The difference between a marked trail and certain death can be measured in the length of your foot. The danger in Yellowstone isn't only beneath your feet, it's also moving, watching, and completely unpredictable. Wildlife here is one of the park's greatest attractions. Massive herds of bison roam freely across open valleys. Elk move through forests and meadows. In more remote areas, predators quietly observe their surroundings. To many visitors, these animals appear calm, peaceful, even approachable, but that perception is often dangerously wrong. Bison, for example, may look slow and docile, but they are capable of running at speeds faster than a human and can change direction instantly. Every year, more people are injured by bison than by any other animal in Yellowstone. Why? Because people get too close. They step beyond safe distances for photos. They assume the animals will remain calm. They treat a wild environment like a controlled one, but these animals are not part of a display. They are not accustomed to human behaviour and they react on instinct. When they feel threatened, they don't hesitate. The result can be sudden, violent, and unavoidable. From 2000 to 2015, there were 25 reported injuries, approximately 1 to 2 per year, with the highest number being 5 in 2015. In 2025, there was at least 2 reported goring incidents, with incidents occurring in 2024 and 2023 as well. On May 4th, 2025, a 47-year-old man from Cape Coral, Florida, was injured by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. At approximately 3:15 p.m. in the Lake Village area of the park, a man was gored by a bison after he approached it too closely. On June 10th, a 30-year-old man from Randolph, New Jersey, was injured by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. At approximately 9:45 a.m. in the Upper Geyser Basin at Old Faithful, a man was gored by a bison after a large group of visitors approached it too closely. In Yellowstone, you are not at the top of the food chain. You are simply another presence in an ecosystem that has existed long before you arrived. Everything in Yellowstone, the heat, the geysers, the unstable ground, comes from something much larger. Beneath the park lies a vast volcanic system, often referred to as a supervolcano. This is not a mountain with a single peak. It is a massive caldera, stretching for miles. A caldera is formed when a volcanic eruption empties a magma chamber so large that the ground above collapses into it. Yellowstone's caldera is one of the largest of its kind on Earth. It was formed through a series of enormous eruptions in the distant past, events so powerful they reshaped entire regions. Today, that system is still active. Magma remains beneath the surface. Heat continues to rise, and the landscape above reflects that ongoing activity. Scientists monitor Yellowstone constantly. They track ground movement, seismic activity, and changes in geothermal behaviour. Small earthquakes occur regularly. The ground can rise and fall over time. All of this is part of a living, dynamic system. But what does it mean? Is Yellowstone going to erupt again? The answer is complex. While the system is active, large-scale eruptions are extremely rare on human timescales, and scientists do not see signs of an imminent catastrophic event. But the potential exists, and the sheer scale of that possibility is what makes Yellowstone so unique. This is not just a national park, it is one of the most powerful geological systems on the planet, and everything you see here is a reminder of what lies below. Knowing all of this, the heat beneath the surface, the unpredictable wildlife, the immense power below. Why do millions of people still come here every year? The answer is something deeper than curiosity. Yellowstone represents something rare in the modern world, a place where nature still operates on its own terms, a place where the environment is not controlled, contained, or fully understood. There is a certain pull to landscapes like this, a desire to see something real, something powerful, something untouched. And in Yellowstone, that feeling is everywhere. It's in the steam rising from the earth, in the silence of the forests, in the distant movement of animals across open land. It reminds us that we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. And perhaps that is why people come here, despite the risks, not to conquer it, but to witness it. Yellowstone is a place of extremes. It is beauty and danger, existing side by side. It is creation and destruction, unfolding at the same time. The same forces that make this landscape so breathtaking are the ones that make it so unpredictable. And that is what makes Yellowstone unforgettable. Because here, the ground beneath your feet is alive. It moves, it changes. It reminds us that the world is far more powerful than we often realize. And as long as that remains true, Yellowstone will continue to be one of the most extraordinary places on Earth. Not just for what we can see, but for what we cannot.